Hello there and welcome to day 28 of Jamb Mathematics in 30 days. I know, right? After now, we just have about 2 more days left in the series and it has been exciting to say the least. And each and every one of you that has been part of the series, I believe you've been gaining a whole lot from the series. And by now, I believe the fear of Jamb Mathematics is now a thing of the past, as you have gained so much skills and learned so much in the series so far. So a big thank you to you for following the series from day one up until this moment, and thank you for subscribing. Thank you for following Oyalen channel, and please, if you are here to subscribe, we are telling you now, please do subscribe. When you do this, you are helping us to be able to make more amazing content like this all for you. And please subscribe, share the videos, like our videos, and also click the notification bell so that every time we put out a new content, you will always be alerted of it. And please, if you are seeing this video for the first time, this is Jamb Mathematics in 30 days. This is a series brought to you by Oyalen, where we believe that when you dedicate within 30 to 45 minutes of your time daily, you can go on to gain all the skill that you need to be able to ace Jamb Mathematics. So you too can also score 90% and above in Jamb Mathematics by just dedicating 30 to 45 minutes of your time daily. So if you are coming across this just now, you have really missed a lot, but there is still time. You can still go back from day one to this point. You might have to binge watch some of those series, but doing that will help you to gain all the knowledge that you need. So I trust that you will check out the videos from day one up until this very moment. And also know that the challenge is still going on the Exam Fund apps. So please download it on Google Play Store as well as the Apple Store and register and then play the Jamb Mathematics 30 days challenge, where you solve a series of questions daily, and at the end we will have a grand prize winner. So please participate and earn as you learn. So if you're ready, let's go to day 28, where we'll be solving more questions from the Jamb past questions, and then we improve our knowledge as we go. So please stay tuned. I will still give you more tips and tricks that you can use to solve some kind of questions that you may come across when you take Jamb Mathematics. So if you're ready, get your material set and then let's solve some problems on Jamb. In the diagram are two concentric circles of radii r and r, small r, big R, respectively, with center O. Now, if small r is 2/3 of big R, express the area of the shaded portion in terms of pi and r. Now, when we say concentric circle, it implies that they share the same center. And to find the area of this shaded portion, it is the area of the larger circle minus the area of the smaller circle. So let's start with the area of the larger circle. So we'll call it area of the bigger circle. So let's say B. That will be pi. Now the radius is big R squared. Now for the smaller circle, let's say A subscript S would then be pi. It has its own radius as small r, so squared. But we already know that small r is 2/3 of big R. So let's square this. Now what we're going to have is 2 squared, which is 4 over 9. So pi big R squared. Now let's find the difference. So that is area of the shaded portion. Now that will be pi r squared minus 4 over 9 pi r squared. So this is over 1. So take LCM as 9. 1 here is 9. 9 times this will give us 9 pi r squared minus this is still 4 pi r squared. Now the difference is 5. So 5 over 9 pi r squared. Comparing with the options, the correct one is option D. If x base 10 equals 1 to 1 4 base 5, find x. So we have to convert this to base 10. That's basically what the question says. So in our solution, let's convert this to base 10. So you'll be having 1 times 5 plus 2 times 5 plus 1 times 5 plus 4 times 5. Now taking power from the right to left, 0, 1, 2, and 3. Now 5 cubed is 125, so this will be 1 times 125 plus 2 times, now 5 squared, that's 25, plus 1 times 5 plus 4 times 1. Now this will give us 125 plus 2 times 25 will give us 50 plus 1 times 5, that's 5, plus 4 times 1, that is 4. Now when we add this is 130 plus this, that's 184 base 10. Therefore x equals 184. Option C. If the lines 3y equals 4x minus 1 and qy equals x plus 3 are parallel to each other, the value of q is, now in coordinate geometry, when two lines are parallel to each other, then they have the same slope. That is, m1 and m2 are equal. So let's find the slope for the first line. For line 1, we have 3y equals 4x minus 1. And when you divide through by 3, you have that y equals 4 over 3x minus 1 over 3. So this implies that the slope is 4 over 3. So in this case too, the slope should be 4 over 3. But let's see. Y is, remember, qy equals x plus 3. So we divide through by q, and then we see that y equals, now 1 over q x plus 3 over q. So if the slope are equal, that is 1 over q should be 4 over 3. Now what this implies is that when you flip this other side, you have q, and it will equal when you flip this, which is 3 over 4. So q is 3 over 4, which is option D. The table above shows the distribution of recharge cards of 4 major GSM operators. Now, what is the probability that a recharge card selected at random will be GTN or QTEL? Now, when you're doing probability and you have one variable or the other, that is, you're going to add the probability of the two together. Now, in this case, let's solve. First thing we have to find out here is the total outcome. So let's sum up all that we have here to get our total outcome. We have here 5 plus 6, which gives 11, plus 3, and that's 14, plus 6, and all together we have 20 as the total outcome. Now, since we are looking for the probability of GTN or QTEL, we write that as probability GTN or QTEL. This would be probability of GTN. Now, GTN has 5 out of a possible 20. So plus. Now, QTEL, that is 3 out of 20 as well. Now, when you look here, the LCM is 20 since they have the same denominator. So we just add 5 and 3. And this will give us 8 over 20. Now, we do not leave this like this. We have to break it to the lowest possible fraction. So, and the highest common factor of 8 and 20 is 4. So, 4 in 8, 2. 4 in 20, 5. So, our final answer is 5 over 20, option C. The inverse of matrix N is, now take note, matrix N has 2, 3 on first row and then 1, 4 on the second row. Is a 2 by 2 matrix. So to find the inverse, we have to find the determinant, and then we multiply that by the adjunct of matrix N. So here's the solution. So in this case, we start by finding the determinant of matrix N. That is determinant of 2, 3, 1, and 4. Now this is given by 2 times 4 minus 1 times 3. And what we have here is 2 times 4, which would give us 8 minus 3. So our answer here is 5. Now, the adjunct of N would then be, Now, to get the adjunt, you just swap the places of these 2 and 4. That is row 1, column 1, and then row 2, column 2. Swap their places so that you have 4 here and then 2 here. Then you multiply the others by -1. So it becomes -3, -1 in this case. This would be the adjunct of n. Therefore, n inverse will then be 1 over determinant of n, which is 5, then the adjunct of n, which is 4 minus 3 minus 1, and then 2. So this is also the way the answer is put. So we compare with the options that we have, and we see that the correct option is option B. Rationalize 2 minus sod 5 all divided by 3 minus sod 5. Now you know the drill. In this case, you have to multiply by the conjugate sod of the denominator, and you do that to both the numerator and the denominator. So the numerator will now be 2 minus sod 5 multiplied by 3 plus sod 5. Then at the denominator, we're going to have 3 minus sod 5 multiplied by 3 plus sod 5. Now, what does this give us? 2 times 3, that is 6. 2 times plus sod 5, that is plus 2 sod 5. Minus sod 5 times 3 will give you minus 3 sod 5. And then minus sod 5 times plus sod 5 will give you minus 5. All divided by 3 times 3, 9. 3 times sod 5, that's plus 3 sod 5. Minus sod 5 times 3 will give you minus 3 sod 5. And then minus sod 5 times plus sod 5 will give you minus 5. Now, let's simplify that. So at this point here, we have 6 minus 5, which would give you 1. 2 sod 5 minus 3 sod 5 will give you minus sod 5, all divided by, of course, plus 3 sod 5 minus 3 sod 5 tends to 0. So 9 minus 5 would give you 4. So the correct answer would be B, 1 minus sod 5 over 4. A cylindrical tank has a capacity of 6,160 centimeter cube. Now, what is the depth of the tank if the radius of its base is 28 centimeters? Now, by capacity here, they imply the volume of the cylindrical tank. And the volume of a cylinder is given as pi r squared h, where h here means the depth of the cylinder. So to solve this, we're going to substitute all the values of these variables we have here. So for V, we have 6,160. Now this equals pi. Let's take pi as 22 over 7. Multiplied by r. The radius of the base is given as 28 centimeters. So if you are squaring that, it will be 28 times 28. All of this multiplied by h. So now, to get the value of h, we have to cross 7 here. So we'll say h equals 7 times 6,160, all divided by, now we would have 22 times 28 times 28. Now you can compute this with your calculator to make it easy, and when you do that, you should come up with 2.5. So that will be 2.5 centimeters. So the correct option here is option D. Find the area of the trapezium above. So referring to this trapezium, now to find the area of this, we are going to break it down such that we're going to have a rectangle here and a triangle here. So this would be a right angle triangle. Now, if this is 7, that is this point to this one should be 7 also. So to break this down, 13 would then be 7 plus x. So this would be 6, while this is 7 centimeters, 6 centimeters. And the height here, vertical distance here is the same. So this is also 6 centimeters. Okay, so let's start with this. Now we have a rectangle here. So the area of the trapezium would then be the area of this rectangle, which is 6 centimeter multiplied by 7 centimeter, plus the area of this triangle, which is half, base, which is 6 centimeters, times the height, which is also 6 centimeters. Now let's work with this. Now 6 times 7 will give us 42 centimeters squared, plus, now 2 in 6, that's 3. 3 times 6, that's 18. centimeter squared. Now, when we add these two together, we come up with 60 centimeters squared. So the correct option here is option C. Find the range of values of t which satisfies the inequalities. So in first inequality, we have 2t minus 1 is less or equals to 3, and 2 minus t is greater or equals to 5. So let's start with the first inequality. So the first one says that 2t minus 1 is less or equals to 3. Now at this point we can say 2t is less or equals to 3. Then minus 1 becomes plus 1 when it crosses to the other side. So that is 2t is less or equals to 4. And dividing both sides by 2, t is less or equals to 2. So we know that numbers that are less or equals to 2 falls under t. Now to get the next one, we have 2 minus t is greater or equals to 5. Now since t here is negative, I have to take it to the other side. That way it becomes positive, and then 5 comes here and becomes negative, but this sign will change. So this will be 2 minus 5 less or equals to plus t. Now this will give you minus 3 less or equals to t. Okay, so now to put these two together, we will be having minus 3 less or equals to t, which is less or equals to 2. Now comparing with the options that we have, that is option D. Given that n equals n multiplied by the square root of SL divided by t, make t the subject of the formula. So in this case, what we have to do is to first eliminate the square root. So in order to eliminate the square root, we are going to square both sides, such that we will then have m squared equals n squared. Then the square root will be gone, and then we'll have SL divided by t. So when we, at this point, we want to make t the subject, so we cross multiply, bringing t to this side and bringing m squared down. We would have that t therefore becomes n squared SL divided by m squared. So this should be our answer. So let's compare it with the options. We see that's the same with option B. So our answer is B. This question says, the time taken to do a piece of work is inversely proportional to the number of men employed. Now, if it takes 45 men to do the work in 5 days, how long will it take 25 men? So this is a simple variation problem. So let's go on to solve it. By the way, did you know it will take you less than a minute to like our videos, share them, and also subscribe to the channel? And you know that every time you do this, you are helping us to continue to make more useful videos like this, not just for you, but to millions of others who need videos like this. So please do well to like the video, share it amongst your friends, and also subscribe to the channel and click the notification bell. That way, every time we put out a new content, you will always be alerted. You can also try out the Exam Fund app to always test yourself and improve your skills, not only in mathematics, but also in other subjects. I hope you do so now. So to solve this problem, what we have to do is first look at the first statement here. We see that the time taken, so let's call that time t, to do a piece of work is inversely proportional to the number of men. So we say it's inversely proportional to numbers of men. Now, what this implies is that t equals, now, when we remove the proportionality symbol, we have to introduce the constant k. So k over n. In other words, we could also say that k here equals tn, that is t multiplied by n. Now we are told that it took 45 men 5 days to do the work. So if we're working with that, we can then find k. K therefore becomes, when t is 5 days, n will be 45, right? So what will be 5 multiplied by 45? 5 times 5 is 25. 5 times 4 is 20. Plus 2, and then we have 22. So 225 is our constant k. Now, to solve the problem, we are then asked to find how long it will take 25 men. We can take this and come back to this equation here and say T therefore becomes 225 over n. And what this implies is that when n is 25, we can find T to be 225 divided by numbers of men, which is 25. Now, when we break this down, 25 is going to go in 225 9 times. So we would have 9 days. So the correct option is option D. In the diagram above, XZ is the diameter of the circle with center O and the radius 15 over 2 centimeters. Now, if XY is 12 centimeters, find the area of the triangle XYZ. Now, when we consider this diagram here, we can then see that this point will be the radius here. So let's say that is 15 over 2 here. So here to here will also be 15 over 2. So the diameter will be the sum of these two, which will give you 15. Now, another thing we should know about diagrams like this is that when you have the diameter of a circle and then it's subtending to the circumference, the angle of a semicircle is always 90 degrees. So this angle here is 90 degrees, meaning I can draw it as a right angle triangle like this, such that we have X, Y, Z. And XZ being the diameter would be 15 centimeters. And XY is given in the question. XY is given as 12 centimeters. So now let's find YZ. To find YZ, we're going to apply Pythagoras. So applying Pythagoras, it will imply that square of the hypotenuse, which is 15 squared, should be 12 squared plus YZ squared. Now this would give us 225, so we can say YZ squared equals 225 minus, now 12 squared is 144, and when we subtract this would give us 81. And what this implies is that YZ will be square root of 81, which is 9, so 9 centimeters. Now the area of the triangle is half base, that's 12 centimeters, times the height, which we have just found to be 9 centimeters. Now what this gives us is 6 centimeters times 9 centimeters. And when we multiply this, we get 54 centimeter squared. So the correct option is option A. This question says a number is chosen at random from 10 to 30, both inclusive. Now, what is the probability that the number is divisible by 3? As you do subscribe to the channel, remember that you can also follow us across other social media platforms. You can find us on Instagram and also on Facebook at Oyalen. Simply at Oyalen. There are so many other content on those channels that are also beneficial to you. So please go ahead and follow us on those networks. Now, in this case here, we have a set of numbers that is from 10 to 30. Now, because it says both inclusive, it means we're going to include 10 in our number counts, 10 and 30. So, solution. To quickly visualize this, we can write out the numbers from 10 to 30. So we'll have 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, and 30. So these are the numbers. Let's count how many we have. Now this should be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21 numbers all together. So let's find the numbers that are divisible by 3 out of all this. So we have 12, which is divisible by 3. then there's 15, then there's 18, then there's 21, then there's 24, then we have 27, and then finally 30. So with this now we can then find the probability. So the probability is therefore now the number of expected outcomes, that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 out of total outcome which we have counted to be 21. Now breaking this down, they are divisible by 7. 7 and 7, that's 1. 7 and 21 gives us 3. So our answer is 1 over 3. Option C. In a regular polygon, each interior angle doubles its corresponding exterior angle. So find the number of sides of the polygon. Now, to solve this, let's put some things into perspective here. Now, when you're dealing with a regular polygon, each interior angle now is supposed to be 180 into n minus 2 divided by the number of sides. Okay, this is how you find the size of each angle in a regular polygon. Now, for the exterior angles, it's supposed to be, the sum of exterior angles is 360 degrees. So it should be 360 degrees divided by number of sides. But according to this question, we are told that each of this interior angle is double of the corresponding exterior angle. Therefore, we will say twice of 360 degrees over n equals 180 into n minus 2. So remember, this is also divided by n. So this will give you 720 over n equals, now if you expand this, what we're going to be having is 180n minus 360. So divide by n. So n can cancel out like this. Now when we collect like terms, we see that 180n equals 720 plus 360. So 180n equals, now let's add this together, 0, 8, 1, 0. So now divide both sides by 180. Now from here we can then see that n equals, now let's break this down. 0 cancels 0, so we are left with 108 over 18. Now 18 in 108 would be 6, because 18 times 6 will give you 108. Therefore, the correct answer here is option B. Tade bought 200 mangoes at 4 for 2 naira 50 kobo. 30 out of the mangoes got spoiled and the remaining were sold at 2 for 2 naira 40 kobo. So find the percentage profit or loss. So meaning we do not know whether it's a profit or a loss yet. So we have to start by finding cost price and selling price. So, solution. So the total cost of 200 mangoes would then be, so total cost price. That will be 200 divided by 4 times 2 naira 50 kobo. Now this would give us, this is 50. 50 times 2 naira 50 kobo, that would give us 125. Yes. 125 naira. That's the total cost price. So, number of mangoes sold. That will be 200 minus 30. Since 30 got spoiled according to the question, so the number of mangoes sold is 170. And the total selling price will be given as 170 divided by 2 times 2 naira 40 kobo. Now 2 here, that's 8, remainder 1, so that's 85. Multiplied by 2.4, let's see, this is 20, so 0 carry the 2. 4 times 8, that's 32. 32 plus 2, and we have 34. Now 2 times 5, that's 10. 0, carry 1. 2 times 8, 16 plus 1, so we have 17 here. Now decimal point here is 0, so this is 4. This is 0, carry 1, so 204 naira. That is the total selling price. So we see there is a profit here. So we can then say the profit is 204 minus 125. And this would give us now 75 plus 4, that's 79 naira. So now that we have the profit, our percentage profit would therefore be profit, which is 79, divided by cost price, which is 125, times 100. Now let's break this. 5-year 5, 5-year 4. So we have 79 times 4 over 5. Let's see what we have from here. What's 79 times 4? 4 times 9 is 36. 6 carry the 3. 4 times 7 is 28. Plus 3, we have 31. So 316 divided by 5. Now 5 will go in 31 6 times, remainder 1. Now 5 in 16, that's 3, remainder 1. So if we add 0 to the 1, that's 10. 5 will go in 10 2 times, so 63.2%. So the correct option here is option C. Let's make R the subject of this formula. Now from the equation we have here, we can cross multiply. So we would have 3t equals kr squared plus m. So we have to take plus m to the other side, such that you can then say kr squared equals 3t minus m. So now we divide both sides by k, and then r squared becomes 3t minus m divided by k. So to get rid of this square here, we find square root of both sides. So r would therefore be the square root of 3t minus m all over k. Now comparing with the options, the correct option is option B. The gradient of the line joining x, 4 and 1, 2 is half. Find the value of x. So let's make this x2, y2, and this is x1, y1. Now, the formula for gradient states that gradient m equals y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So applying that, the gradient is half. Now this equals y2, which is 4, minus y1, which is 2, over, now x2, we have x, minus x1, which is 1. So let's cross multiply. So we'll have x minus 1 equals 2 into 4 minus 2. This will give you x minus 1 equals, now what we have here is 2. 2 times 2 gives us 4. So from here we can say x equals 4 plus 1. So x equals 5. The correct option is therefore A. This question says the nth term of the progression 4 over 2, 7 over 3, 10 over 4, 15 over 5, is, so that is what to find the equation that describes the nth term of this progression. So know that this is your first term, second term, third term, fourth term, and so on like that. So to get this, we have to look at which of these equations describes them, where n is 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on. So when we look at the numerator, right, at the numerator, we see that when n equals 1, we can apply that 3n. If we try 1 minus 3n, it won't work for us because 3 times 1 is 3. 1 minus 3 will give you minus 2, and that's not what we have here. So that eliminates this as well as this. So we are left with these two, 3n plus 1. So when we test that, 3 times 1 is 3, plus 1 will give us 4. So 3n plus 1 in this case would give you 4. And when n is 2, 3 times 2 will give you 6. That will be 6 plus 1. That will give you 7. So you see it works in this case. So 3n plus 1 works. We've gotten the numerator. Now for denominator. Now we see that we have 2, 3, 4, 5. So when n equals 1, we can see that the only thing that can help us get 2 is to say n plus 1. So when it is n equals 2, it will be 2 plus 1, which will give you 3. This one is 1 plus 1, which is 2, and so on. Like so we should be having 2, 3, 4, 5, and so on. So that is, it is n plus 1. Therefore, the nth term is 3n plus 1 over n plus 1, which is option B. If q is a factor of 18 and t is prime numbers between 2 and 18, what is q intersection t? This is a set theory question. So let's pull out all the elements that are in set q and set t. So for set q, we're going to be having, now, factors of 18. They include 1, 2 is a factor of 18, 3 is a factor of 18, 4 is not, 5 is not, but 6 is. Now, we also have, that's, the next one should be 18 itself then. No, there should be 9, then 18. So now we have all the factors of 18 here. So now let's find the elements of set T. In this case, we're looking at prime numbers between 2 and 18. Now, prime numbers are numbers that are only divisible by 1 and themselves. So we'll be having 2. 2 is a prime number. We also have 3, which is a prime number. 5 is also a prime number. 7 is a prime number. 8 is not, 9 is not, 10 is not, but we have 11, then 13, then 17. Now, these are the prime numbers that exist between 2 and 18. Now, let's do Q intersect T. Now, this will give us, that is what they have in common. We see that they have 2 in common. Then the next thing they have is 3. So our answer is 2, 3, which is option A. Find the range of value of x for which x plus 2 all divided by 4 minus 2x minus 3 all divided by 3 is less than 4. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to multiply through by the LCM of the denominators, where we can therefore write this as over 1. And the LCM of denominator is 12. So multiply through by 12. So we'll have 12 into x plus 2 over 4 minus 12 into 2x minus 3 over 3 less than 12 times 4. Now we see here 4 goes here once, 4 goes here thrice, 3 goes here once, 3 goes here 4 times. So what we have now is 3 times x, which will give you 3x, plus 3 times 2, which is 6, minus, now 4 times 2x, that will give you 8x, minus times minus, we have plus, so 4 times 3, we have 12, less than 12 times 4, which would give us 48. Now, collecting like terms, we would have 3x minus 8x, that's minus 5x. 6 plus 12, that's plus 18, less than 48. So from here, we can see that minus 5x is therefore less than 48. minus 18. So minus 5x is less than 30. So dividing both sides by minus 5 will affect this less than sign, changing it to the greater than sign. So we'll then have that x is greater than, now, minus 5 in 30, that will give you minus 6. So x is greater than minus 6, option A. Now, folks, you can still practice with many more questions that you'll find on the Exam Phone app. Please download, register, and then participate in the Jamb Mathematics in 30 Days challenge that is currently going on the app to win amazing prizes. Now, I will see you in the next video, but until then, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and click the notification bell so that you get alerted when the next content comes up to you. Thank you.